All right, so the Philadelphia Sixers lost 2 games in a row on their West Coast road trip to the Sacramento Kings and the Golden State Warriors, mainly because of their stars. We're going to talk about what those problems were and how they can possibly fix them moving forward, if they can be fixed at all. But without further ado, here's the intro. What's going on, Cliffhangers? We are back with another video. We are on the road to 5,000 subscribers before the end of 2025, and it is 2025, so happy new year. I hope y'all had a blessed one. I hope y'all have a blessed one moving forward, but make sure y'all hit that like button, y'all hit that subscribe button down below. It'd be greatly appreciated. Also, become a part of Noti Gang. Hit that bell notification down below so you never miss a video. Also, join that Discord link in the description below. Give me to 100 likes on this video. Let's get into it. All right, so problem number 1 off the rip. Tyrese Maxey. This has been the worst game and a quarter stretch that he has had or I have ever watched in his entire career. The game versus the Warriors, he was bad on defense. He was bad on offense. He missed like 5 layups. He couldn't hit a shot. He looked out of it. He looked frustrated. It looked like he was not checked into the game at all, and you usually never see Tyrese Maxey like that. Going back to that Kings game in that last 4 minutes where they completely collapsed, his decision making was off. He kept turning the ball over. Like I said, he continues to just look frustrated out on the court because of what defenses are doing to him, and it's starting to annoy me because I just can't continue to give Maxey plot armor every time he has a bad game, right? Like, I get it, players are allowed to have bad games, but the way that you have that bad game says a lot. And Tyrese's body language has just been off from that last 4 minutes to this game in Golden State. And maybe I can give him a pass and say maybe he's tired. He does play the second most minutes in the NBA. Maybe he is tired. That is a real thing. He played 41 minutes in Sacramento, and then he played, I think, 36 versus the Warriors. Maybe he is tired. He does need to shrink down on his minutes, but that's something that the Sixers have to look forward to for January 15th during the trade. January 15th, when they're really allowed to trade whoever and leading up to the trade deadline. Whatever, bro. But the bigger problem with Tyrese Maxey is what I've been seeing, his body language and the way he approaches games. I don't know what it is. I said it last night, but he kind of plays with like an attitude all the time now. And it's like, sometimes it's good. Like, you want your star player to have that mean streak to be like, all right, I can flip the switch on, but it's not that type of attitude. It's just like, he just has an attitude with everything. Like, you could always see it's a little bit of what like Joel does sometimes. Like, he is just constantly emoting. That's the best way I can put it. He's just constantly emoting, throwing his arms in the air. And oh my God, bro, him in this, every single time he gets touched, he cries to the ref about fouls. Like, bro, just play basketball. You're not going to get every call. And I understand that Tyrese has one of the worst whistles in the NBA. That has not actually been the case this season. Some of these are just straight up not fouls because he is not initiating the contact. He's going away from the defender's chest or falling down or leaning away from the rim instead of just going up into their chest and initiating the contact. But even when that's not happening, every time like he loses the ball or turns it over, or he even gets touched a little bit going to the basket, he just starts crying to the refs, and sometimes it leads to just him not getting back on defense. The opposing team just sprints because they know he's not going to get off the floor fast enough because he's too busy complaining to the referees all the time. And I don't know when he got like this, but like, bro, at some point you have to just understand maybe it just wasn't a foul, but even if it was a foul, you have to continue playing basketball, especially because you guys are in the position you're in because you started off the season so bad. Y'all have to win games and you have to be locked in 24/7 for the rest of the season. We are a couple of months away from playoff basketball. Like, yes, it is a long season, but y'all have to figure it out chemistry wise. And also, like I said, his shot selection and his decision making. It seems like if a team throws a blitz at him, he has no idea what to do with it. He either passes it too early, passes it too late, or he turns the ball over. He never makes the right read at the right time. For example, Steph Curry in that Warriors game, when Joel Embiid gets him on the perimeter and Paul George comes over to double team him, Steph makes a very quick pass to Andrew Wiggins, cutting down the middle of the court after he backdoors, I think, Caleb Martin or somebody like that. And Steph makes a very quick read. It seems like when teams blitz Maxey, they're like, all right, he's just not going to make the read. Even if he does make the read, because I'm not going to sit here and lie, he has made that playmaking leap, but he's just not there to be on like Steph's level yet, or like even like a and above like an elite passer, he's just not they know he's not going to make the read in time for the Sixers to have that 4-on-3 advantage that you want if you do blitz somebody and get the ball out of their hands. He just looks confused half the time. And then usually when that happens, he just gets frustrated and then he forces something, which essentially leads to another turnover because he'll get to the rim and eventually miss the layup or try to draw contact or cry for a foul, and it never works out. So Tyrese has been the main issue with me, and it's basically been his body language and his attitude and how he approaches some of these games. It is starting to annoy me. And you can see Ant Edwards does it too. Like they're just starting to cry to the refs entirely too much, and it's getting annoying. Like, just go play basketball. Paul George, the end of the game versus the Kings, he has 30 points. He has 0 points in the fourth quarter. The thing with Paul George is, all right, he's 34 years old. He's slow. He doesn't have the burst to get by anybody anymore. He had a pretty good game, and also Tyrese Maxey did too, up until that fourth quarter in those 4 minutes versus the Sacramento Kings. Then he came out in the Golden State Warriors game. He had a pretty good game. But everything with Paul George to me is like his decision making is so bad. He's been in foul trouble for the past like 4 straight games in the first half. I don't know what he got going on, but my problem with him is he just takes bad shots at the absolute wrong time. It'll either be when his teammates are trying to get into a rhythm. He decides, all right, it's my turn to go do something. Let me just do 100 dribbles and try to do this step back, turn around, fade away from the post. Which, what are you doing? It's just like his shot selection and also his decision making. He contributed to the Kings. He contributed to the Sixers losing that game in the fourth quarter as well, because he had like 3 straight terrible possessions of turning the ball over, and he just throws sometimes these lackadaisical passes to where he just doesn't care. He's just like, all right, whatever. He gets turned over. It's like one of the dumbest passes you would think, like, why did he just throw that? And that's just a problem that I have with him, and it's just his shot selection and decision making when they need points. They need a good shot, and sometimes he just makes a shot so difficult at the wrong time because he's trying to figure out how to get into a rhythm. But he just needs to figure that out. But my whole thing with Paul George is like, sometimes it looks like he just doesn't care. He falls asleep on defense off ball sometimes. Like I said, bad passes, just very lazy. Sometimes on offense, he's just standing in the corner. It's just like, bro, what is happening here? And finally, Joel Embiid. I'm not as mad at Joel Embiid as I'm mad as Tyrese Maxey and Paul George, because they actively contributed to losses, and you just can't deny that. But Joel, in that Warriors game last night, yeah, the stats are going to show we had 28 and 14. The stats are fine, but the way Joel started that game, and he didn't start off from a play perspective bad, but the energy that he had in that Warriors game was just so bad to start off the game, especially after he didn't play in the Sacramento Kings game. He has to be the guy to come out with the most energy, because first of all, you are the star of the team. You didn't play the first night of a back-to-back, so you have to have the most. And after they lost and dramatically collapsed, you have to have the most energy as a star of the team, as an MVP in the NBA, to be like, all right, we're winning this game, or at least we're going to make it competitive. He came out in that Warriors game and was jogging around, jogging back in transition on defense. He was very lazy on offense, taking a bunch of jumpers, not asserting himself. And it's just like, and the crazy thing, he wasn't playing bad. He was making some shots. He had some block shots at the rim, but it was just like the energy was just very blah. Like, he was just like, all right, we just out here playing basketball. And the Sixers do this too often, where they just come into a game expecting to just win off of their talent, and they're just not prepared. They're not engaged. They have no sense of urgency. And this has been going on 4 years, and it starts with Joel. I have no idea why he has not figured it out yet, that they go off of his energy. You could tell they were just feeding off him. They were like, all right, we just going, I guess we mailing it in tonight. And then once the Warriors got like a 15-point lead, Joel started to pick it up. He started to have some energy. He started to sprint. He started to close out. He started to get back on defense and transition. But before then, the Warriors had like 3 straight plays where they just got in transition and got the most easiest layups I have ever seen in my life, just because Joel Embiid just didn't get back. And it's just like, what are you doing? Y'all have to win games. You put yourself in a situation where every game means so much to this season if you actually want to go into the playoffs and try to make a deep run. I don't know what they're going to do. They have to make a trade at the deadline. They need a guard badly because, like I mentioned earlier, Tyrese Maxey is he's just probably tired. We've seen this in his career. We even saw it last year. Like, he does get tired, and that usually affects his legs, where he starts making bad decisions. He can't make his layups anymore. He's losing his touch around the rim. He can't make his shots. We've seen this before. He probably is tired, but I cannot just continue to give him plot armor when he has bad games. Everybody probably gets tired. Everybody has high usage, especially your stars. Now, he does play the second most minutes in the NBA, but that's not far off of like Jokic. I think Jokic is like fifth or something, but like, whatever. They need another guard just to give him a spell, and that's where the Jared McCain injury comes in so terrible, and it's just so clutch because there's no other player that can dribble the ball when Paul George and Joel Embiid are off of the court, or when you don't have Joel. Tyrese just has so much weight on him to do everything. He's going to get burnt out, and he's going to get tired quicker, but they need to figure that out. They need to make a trade for another guard to just help him out and save his legs for this season and for the rest of his career. But they need to figure it out, bro. I don't know. Let me know what y'all think in the comments below. Who is the problem right now for the Sixers? How do you think that they can turn it around? I don't know. I want to be objective. They were playing good basketball for the last 4 games, like these 2 West Coast trips. They should have won in Sacramento. The Golden State game was pretty much an anomaly. I don't even want to say an anomaly. It was just, they just can't come out like that when you need to win games. But they've been playing good basketball. I'm not going to jump off the bridge yet. I'm not going to say that the season is over. They are still close to that playing spot. They can still possibly get the 6th seed. So y'all let me know in the comments below what y'all think, and if they should punt on the season. I don't know. Just tell me something in the comments. I'll holler at y'all.